This is an NBC News special report.
Hello, I'm Melissa Rayberger with sad news from the Vatican this morning. The Vatican has confirmed to NBC News that Pope Benedict XVI has passed away after an illness that has kept him in bed in recent days. NBC's Ann Thompson has his story.
Benedict XVI, the shy theology professor from Germany, will be remembered as the Pope who shocked the world, resigning the papacy in February 2013, the first Pope to voluntarily step down in 700 years.
I think it may be his finest legacy to the Church, his greatest gift to the Church, because really he's brought the papacy into the modern age.
85 years old when he made his decision, Benedict cited his advanced age and his inability to give the world's 1.2 billion Catholics the leadership needed. American Cardinal Edwin O'Brien was in the room.
And there was just a shocking silence for a while, and for a minute and a half or two.
Benedict left a church growing in Africa and Asia, but tarnished by scandal in Europe and the U.S. The man many hoped would reform the Curia, the bureaucracy that runs the church, was instead betrayed by it. His own butler leaking confidential documents revealing corruption and infighting. And speculation about the investigation into the scandal ordered by Benedict dominated the final weeks of his papacy. The continuing revelations of priests sexually abusing children, once dismissed as an American issue, savaged the European Church. In Benedict's Germany, Belgium, France, and Ireland, stories of molestation and cover-up shook even the most faithful and brought an apology from the Pope.
Above all, I express my deep sorrow to the innocent victims of these unspeakable crimes.
In the U.S. and the United Kingdom, Benedict met privately with abuse victims and listened to their stories.
This was a man with a very large heart, and I think the world got to see something of that heart, both in microcosm with victims of abuse and on a much larger stage when he called not only his native Germany, but the entire West to live a nobler idea of freedom.
Yet church attendance in Europe and the U.S. continued to decline. In many European countries, less than 20% attended weekly Mass. For Benedict XVI, the role of Pope was not a natural fit. An academic, he wanted to retire to his native Bavaria to write books. Instead, at age 78, he was elected to succeed John Paul II, one of the most influential and charismatic popes in history.
One was a philosopher, the other was a theologian. One was a large-scale public personality, the other was a shy scholar.
Benedict came with a cartoonish reputation. As Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger under John Paul, critics branded him God's Rottweiler, a strict conservative theologian. Yet the oldest man elected pope in nearly 3 centuries took on modern issues, defending the Catholic faith against relativism, opposing women priests and homosexuality, speaking out against climate change and putting solar panels on the Vatican. Benedict led the church into social media, using an iPad to send his first tweet, joining Facebook, setting up a YouTube channel. And Benedict created a potential problem for the church: 2 living popes. Benedict took the title Pope Emeritus, continued to wear white, and moved into a restored convent in Vatican City, a short walk from his successor Francis. The 2 popes fascinated the world, their imagined relationship the subject of an Oscar-nominated movie.
You have lifted a great burden from my shoulders.
You're placed in every one of mine.
In reality, there was controversy, including Benedict's role in a book upholding priestly celibacy, as Pope Francis considered an exception for clergy in the Amazon. At the end, as promised, Benedict spent his final days out of sight from the church he once led. A man of principle and great intellectual power, deeply rooted in his faith. Ann Thompson, NBC News.
Let's go now to NBC's Molly Hunter, who was at Vatican Square for us this morning. Molly, tell us about the reaction that you were seeing there.
Melissa, good morning to you. That's right. We're just outside of Vatican City. You can see these huge crowds. These huge crowds come most days, and we've been talking to some tourists to try to get a sense of the reaction so far. For the last couple of days, people have expressed to us that they have been very sad as they await this, and we've been trying to understand how big of a deal it is. This is a pope that has been out of the public eye for the last 10 years. This is someone who has really retired in quiet. And yet the faithful people, the people that we have been talking to, feel like that it is very important, that they have been sad awaiting this. One of the big things, Melissa, that we don't know and we do not have from the Vatican yet this morning, we have two very short statements from the Vatican. The first about an hour ago informing us, of his death. It says, "With sorrow, I inform you that the Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI passed away today at 9:34. Further information will be provided as soon as possible." And then we also understand that it says information may be given that as of Monday, January 2nd, 2023, the body of the Pope Emeritus will be in St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican for the faithful to bid farewell. Now, Melissa, what we don't know is how long he may lie in state. We also don't know what kind of funeral he may have. But what is so important, what is so rare, is this will be the first time in more than 700 years that a current pope will preside over the funeral of a former pope. Melissa, I'll send it back to you.
NBC's Molly Hunter at Vatican Square, and a very sad morning for so many people who are gathering there. Molly, thank you very much. Again, Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI has passed away at age 95. This has been an NBC News special report.